wish anyone to cross my path.
The blood that flows through her veins is special, and extremely dangerous. If showing pity would put my allies in danger, I will not hesitate to kill her.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses, and welcome back in time. We are at the end of the Chapter 11 battle. This is where, previously, obviously, we chose to side with Edelgard against Rhea. We are not making that choice this time. And I will say, yeah, it's hard because there's a lot indicating that, like, oh my god, at the end of the Edelgard's path, Rhea becomes a straight-up Saturday morning cartoon villain. Like, I'm just going to burn all the townsfolk alive because wahaha! Like, there's literally no reason for her to do that. But she does it anyway, and it's like, It actually makes me slightly frustrated because I liked before where the three paths were, it just played out different ways, but Edelgard was chaotic, but she had good intentions. She just didn't, her methods were awful. But here, it makes it a lot, it's not nuanced anymore. Like, Rhea is just straight up evil. And, I don't want to help her, but I kind of have to, because...
think that a descendant of House Hresmelk would dare betray the Holy Church?
So, it is my teacher who stands in my way. I always knew it would come to this.
Professor, kill Edelgard at once.
Gah. Obviously, I know Edelgard won't die, but still, gah.
Such a rebellious heart cannot be allowed to keep beating.
Yeah, Everyone look away. Okay, actually, I have to make this decision, but I don't want any of you to have proof that I made this decision, so... Oh, hey! Oops, wrong button. Huh, I wonder how that happened.
Come, Hubert.
To flee is futile, wicked girl. The Church of Seiros will raise its entire army against you until you have been captured and punished.
You know, I really wish she would have retained her teleporting ability whenever she was, in my army. That would have been nice.
You defiled the holy tomb, dishonored the goddess, and humiliated your brethren. That crime will never be erased. Even if you burn in the eternal flames and spill all of your blood into the goddess's soil.
Hey, she said the same thing to me.
Come, Professor. Let us return and decide upon our next course of action.
Didn't you literally just say our next course of action was raising the entire army against Edelgard and hunting her down? I mean, it sounds like that decision's kind of been made.
Edelgard and Hubert have disappeared. They will surely return to the Empire. The Knights have been dispatched to search and investigate. If there is any movement, we will know. We cannot ignore the possibility that there will soon be open hostilities between us and the Imperial Army.
Well, yeah, that sounds certainly plausible.
When that happens, are you prepared to fight your own?
I love how it's even just straight up when that happens. It's like, but it was a possibility 2 seconds ago.
If you wish to return to the Empire, I will not stop you. That is your choice to make.
If Edelgard is acting afoul, then we have no choice but to strike
It
her
will
down.
be interesting to hear why all of them... Because really, we know the only difference is what I decided. So they're all just, following my lead, but it is interesting the rationalizations they'll offer.
It's up to us to stop them. We have a war on our hands.
I have no interest in fighting, not even for her. And yet...
How are we supposed to decide just like that? Hubie, I'm sorry about this, but I'm siding with the Professor. Her doings are wrong. It is our duty to make everything right.
I am sure you all have much on your mind.
I love how he's like, I was totally not listening to any of that.
I encourage you to confer with your professor and make a decision. You have until the fighting commences. Professor, I am depending on your strength for the safety of Fodlan.
The leaders of the Church have misused its creed to fulfill their true desire, to rule the world.
They have fooled the people of Fodlan. Long ago, they divided the Empire to create a kingdom, and then divided that kingdom to create an alliance.
See, why didn't we get the speech but when we were siding with her? There's so many like cool things she does that we have to like save her because she doesn't do whenever we're helping her.
They did all of this to make the masses bicker amongst themselves. They caused instability in order to reinforce their own authority. They gathered gold and lived in extravagance. How? By preying on the devotion of those who wished for the goddess's salvation. Those corrupt hypocrites cannot lead Fodlan to true peace. Their foul belief system must be torn asunder so that true wisdom may finally prevail. And so, I have decided, by order of the Adrestian Emperor, Edelgard von Hresvelg, the Empire hereby declares war on the Church of Seros.
I cannot believe it.
What do you mean? You literally told me this was going to happen. It was not a question of if, it was a question of when.
Let us recount the situation as it stands, Professor. After you returned from the Holy Tomb...
I should be less hostile. I apologize. I'm just... Like, this was more... I feel like... Well, A, I don't want to help them. Like, that's a big thing, and so I'm just, like, mentally gnashing my teeth. And B, I did not expect them to make me side with Edelgard this thoroughly.
The Adrestian Empire declared war upon the Church of Seros, as well as our allies. Edelgard demanded her own father relinquish the throne, and then assumed the position of Emperor.
You see, and also, we know that's not true, because we went with them in order to oversee that. That happened a while ago. Why are you lying to me, Sedith?
She has deemed the Church of Seros to be an evil of this world.
I mean, I guess
and
not.
is calling upon the people of Fodlan to help her tear it down.
I guess it's not necessarily that, but it's not like Edelgard demanded that so she could go to war. Like, that was something they had discussed at length. I was there.
I must discuss our response to this declaration with the Archbishop after the Knights return from their investigation. Until then, watch over the students. See that they remain calm.
Again, I know the actual reason, and the actual... Okay, so this is... The Crimson Flower, End of a Dream. That is, the Black... That is the Black Eagle end game. This is the Golden Deer end game. This is the end game for... So yeah, this is the end game for the church. And then we also... That's... I don't need these two. I've got clear game data... Why do I have so many of them for... I have a lot of ones I don't need, to be quite honest. But, oh well. Save it to this one.
Part 1. White Clouds. Lone Moon. To war.
War? What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Together, the people of Fodlan relish the beauty of the brilliant moon overhead as another year ends. They recall sad partings and new acquaintances alike, but each person must still walk their chosen path alone. With each day, the presence of spring grows stronger, and yet a lone moon still haunts the sky, a silent reminder perhaps of some inescapable truth.
Alright, load through here. I think we still have a few cutscenes left to go. Let's go! And it's sure taking its time to load. It was like, I can't believe he's still playing this. Interesting, I wonder where 2 weeks just went.
Unforgivable. I cannot fathom that the Adrestian Empire would embark on such a violent course of action.
I mean, yeah, I know we had to wait. I guess the 2 weeks were while we waited for the scouts to come back, but it's interesting that they just did not let me play those 2 weeks.
The fault is my own. I failed to see the wickedness within Edelgart's heart.
What's our objective?
There is no question on that front. She clearly wishes to conquer all of Fodlan. And in order to achieve her own selfish ambitions, she plotted with ill-meaning strangers and defiled the Holy Tomb.
I mean, I will say she definitely plotted with ill-meaning strangers. Like, they are the... Well, are they the big bads? Like, Edelgard's pretty freaking bad. Or not Edelgard, Rhea.
Grander than we know. Perhaps she is planning to make herself a false deity by demonizing the Church of Seros.
Adrestia received its very name through a divine oracle. To injure the goddess is a sin most foul that shall not be forgiven, nor forgotten.
So when you say injure, what would consuming the goddess be?
We must stop the Empire.
And that is still the ritual that caused, the goddess... I'm blanking on her name. Because that, and again, yes, I suck at names, but also it's the game's fault for having Sedith and Seros and the other S name.
I have returned.
Oh, it's Shamir. No, it's not. Why are there so many 6-letter long S names in this game?
Welcome back, Shamir. Were you able to discern the Empire's movements?
Their main troops are marching towards Garreg Mach. It is said that they will join forces with Edelgard's army and arrive within 2 weeks.
2 weeks? That is not enough time.
Well, it has to be enough time.
It will require all of our efforts just to prepare our defenses before then. We must send notice to all surrounding villages at once. We must order the residents of Garreg Mach to flee for their lives.
It will be done.
Professor, listen closely. If our enemy invades the monastery, I will have no choice but to stand upon the battlefield. If something happens to me, I am entrusting my sacred duties to you.
Yeah, what do you mean sacred duties? Although I actually already know the answer to this.
You must have guessed it by now. The truth of who you are.
So this! There we go. I knew it was in there.
Or perhaps I should say, your lost memories are surely beginning to return. I have acted all these long years as a mere proxy for you. But the duty is yours, and yours alone. Only you can lead the people of Fodlan.
Which again, that always confused me before. She's not actually talking about me. She's talking about the fact that I have the goddess in me, and the goddess is the one leading.
Rhea, please. You must tell me all that you know. I beg of you. That one is the progenitor god. Am I correct?
In a sense. Our dear professor is a vessel. One who carries the power of...
Did she actually say this before? I can't remember because it's information that I definitely was aware of, but I don't remember if they outright said.
In time, the vessel will become one with the power contained within, and the progenitor god shall return to this world.
I see. I trust that you are aware of the questionable nature of this experiment. But I suppose there is no turning back.
I ask that you help our friend, and in doing so, help her. I am waiting and hoping for the moment when our creator rules this wayward land once more.
I understand. As ever, I will take you at your word.
Hooray!
Lady Rhea, brother, I will do my part as...
You actually probably will, because I'm realizing I don't have a good healer.
Flame, were you eavesdropping? Regardless, I am glad to hear it. You owe your life to the professor, after all. And in the end, they may prove to be our brethren.
You have my gratitude, Sedith. And you as well, Flame. As followers of the progenitor god, it is up to us to see our mission through.
And we will, I guess, do that. Don't want to help her. I will stop whining about it, I promise. I should definitely... Oh, I need to get more of these. Jeepus.
I am sorry you could find no one but me to share your tea with. I shall endeavor to hold up my end of the conversation nonetheless. Allow me to express my deepest thanks.
No, will not allow it. What would she would do if we had just, like, straight up tried to shut her down from...
Exquisite. Yes.
Definitely she wants to talk about magical innovations. There's no question there.
Yes.
I kind of figured that would also be a thing for her.
Yes. My mistake.
Oh, of course she wants to talk about Crest. She's obsessed with them. I'm stupid.
I shall take my leave now.
You cannot take from me anything that I would more willingly part with of. Except my life. I am curious. Okay, yeah, there's absolutely nothing. I didn't think there would be. Okay, so first and flecking foremost, people bug me to do this the entire last run, and I never did it because I'm stubborn. But I don't want to. I legit don't want to forget. It's just, whenever someone tells me to do something that I don't know to do, I get very, very, very wiggly, and I like expressly don't want to do it because you told me it was there, and because you told me it was there means that I wouldn't have found it on my own. I can't prove I would have found it. However, it's also apparently really, really relevant stuff. I swear I've been in here.
This might be our last chance to get out of here. I'm leaving, Garrigmok. You should too. Protect the students? Have you got a death wish? All right. Take this and try not to get killed.
So people have said there's stuff in the library down here. I never found it, and I also don't see anything. So I don't know if this is a, like, troll? Because the thing is, they kept saying it over and over and over again. Hey, check the library. Hey, check the library. Hey, check the library. Hey, check the... There's nothing in the library down here, guys. Am I, like, just not understanding what you're talking about? Is there a different library that I don't know about? I will look, but I definitely have never seen anything.
Hey, you, listen up. I've got something to report. Aw, guess who was worried about Abyss and came by to check on me? I mean, on us. Isn't that nice? It's just so nice. My pleasure. Surely the church can spare one night to help you watch over this place. I'm not crying.
Aww.
Just don't worry about it, okay? Move it along.
Come on. Lots of people in Abyss are already struggling to get by. War will make things even harder for us.
Well, yeah, war never helps anyone.
We're sure to run
except
out of food and
profiteers.
other supplies. And there will probably be refugees to take care of. Not to mention what might happen if the Empire takes over and decides to redecorate.
Pardon me. War's actually coming, isn't it? Unbelievable.
Believe it.
Imperial troops in Garrigmok? It's gonna be wild. Whatever happens won't affect us down here in Abyss, though. Will it?
When did they actually find this place? That's the big question. Yeah, I am not sure where the supposed library is supposed to be. I'm definitely not seeing anything down here. I will still talk to people down here because I do actually have to come down here. Hello, Yuri? Mr. Lau? I know that's not his name.
So this is how it's turned out. I figured as much. But I didn't anticipate it would happen so soon. If Garrigmok becomes a battlefield, Abyss will have no choice but to get involved.
Well, good, because you're in this playthrough, buddy.
Everyone here will have no alternative. They've got nowhere else to go.
And then, yeah, I thought you'd be Balthus.
Smell a war brewing. Sure enough, here we are. If Fodlan falls into chaos, I wonder if my debts will fall away along with it. Just thinking aloud here. If the Empire wants a fight, let's give him one to remember.
I'm into it. I'm into it. And then lastly, Constance. I see you down here, trying to hide from me.
It shakes me to my core that the Empire would lash out so violently. I shall have to reconsider my intended path towards restoring
Oh, wow.
Nuvelle.
That is not something... I should say I have to defeat Edelgard so that I can now return Nuvelle to glory in the redeemed Empire.
Still, I could not in good conscience fight without speaking to her first.
Speaking to... who? Edelgard? Okay, and then... Huh, she's not in here. Okay, cool. I do need to use her to force Catherine and Shamir to end up together.
Need something?
Okay, that's why they're not here yet. I wonder if one of those is actually in the library and I just missed it. That's possible.
Come on.
Hello there.
Hello. Let's see if there's any social links we need to do. I'll be very, very, very forthwith. I'm going to not show most of these on screen. Like, if it's one I know we've seen before, I'm not doing it. And I feel like we've seen almost all of them. Basically, if it's not the Ashen Wolves, and it's not the people in the church I largely neglected prior to now, I'm not doing it. So, like, when I go into support, I don't care about any of these guys. I know we've fully explored all of them. However, like, Constance will watch, Catherine will watch, and we will aggressively push through. Yeah, let's go ahead and watch the ones that are in here, even though I've probably seen them already. Like, yeah, that was the thing. I don't know if we got all the way through Ferdinand, because when we got to part 2, I completely stopped paying attention to the Ashen Wolves, because I knew I'd be doing this playthrough. I bet we actually have seen this one, because...
Hello, Constance.
It was like this... Like, we haven't done a thing since we started this.
Greetings, Ferdinand. My condolences on your misfortune that our paths have crossed again.
Oh, dear. I am not used to hearing you deprecate yourself like that. Never mind. Just listen.
If it is an audience you require, I will endeavor to meet that need.
When we last spoke, I was attempting to connect with you, to listen and show you some empathy. But I was so clumsy with my words that I came across as callous and conceited. I hurt you. I know.
The notion that a noble of House Ire could display arrogance is difficult to credit. That you even deign to speak to me is a testament to your humility.
Poor Ferdinand.
As grateful as I am for the honor, it would be best for us both if I take my leave.
No, please, hear me out. Though your words chafed, I see now that they were perceptive. I was being arrogant. I tend to overcompensate. Perhaps I make a fool of myself, bragging about my superiority to Edelgard.
You do yourself a disservice. If you are a fool, then I am folly herself. But you must know that it is no reflection on your sterling quality, Ferdinand. Even in the face of such adversity, you never strayed from the correct path.
Oh no, he's straying from it right now. We should definitely be... I want to stop talking about it, I promise. Maybe, probably not.
If this was the right path, the wrong path hardly bears thinking about. Still, your kindness has eased my worries a bit.
A wise noble once said that life is a series of peaks and valleys, but I have struggled to find the peaks. I was once pushed to the nadir of a valley, and have spent my days confined there ever since.
Isn't Nadir a character? Like, who is, Claude's father? I feel like his name is very close to Nadir.
There is little chance that I will ever return to the heights I once knew, but it will not be for lack of trying.
Your persistence is admirable.
You are too gracious. I see the highest of peaks on your own road. The way is steep, but not long. You will reach it yet. And if my words might reach the ears of a man who has attained such heights, perhaps one who has reached his summit might pull a climber up behind him? Such is my heart's desire. Unspeakable though it may be.
I mean, it's obviously speakable. You just spoke it. And then Catherine, I'm sure we've also seen. Okay, so this is her level 1 with Caspar. That's the one. We need to get her all the way through those. Man, I have not been spending enough time with her. We'll fix that this playthrough, though. I don't know how much we'll actually get, because a lot of these guys won't be out in the field with her, but you know.
Not this time.
How about this?
Actually, we haven't seen this before, because yeah, even though we haven't done anything, so Catherine and Caspar hit this level, Catherine left the party, or like left the group and never came back.
Too slow.
You're mine now!
Not quite.
Why can't I do it?
What's wrong, Caspar? Worn out already? You said you wanted to keep going until you managed to hit me.
Oh, I'm gonna hit you. Just let me catch my breath. Losing to you over and over again is exhausting.
That's because you rely on sheer power. You're moving around more than you have to, and it's a waste of energy. You need to start using your head, or you'll never even land a blow.
Well, you were taking some pretty big swings yourself, you know.
I have more experience than you. I can use my energy more efficiently.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You are the famous Thunder Catherine, after all. Wait, I just realized something. I get to train with the legendary wielder of Thunder.
You hadn't realized that before?
Why is that just...
Okay, yeah, that's my question as well.
I guess it didn't really sink in until now. I'm training with someone I've always looked up to. You're a legend. Everyone knows about the power of Thunderbrand, even in the Empire.
Stop. I'm not nearly that impressive.
But you are. When I was younger, my friends and I would fight over who got to pretend to use Thunderbrand whenever we would play.
If they actually saw me fighting, I doubt that game would be very popular. I will cut down anyone, even a child, for the
Wow,
sake of my
okay, Catherine.
On the battlefield, there is no Thunder Catherine. Only a bloodied soldier crawling in the mud, hacking desperately at her enemies.
Let people, like, look up to you.
Sure, but...
I'm not a hero. I fight only for Lady Rhea and the Goddess. What about me is admirable, Is it my deeds? Or my blade?
Catherine, I need you to stop talking like this, because you're going to prove yourself a really, really bad match for Shamir, and I heart Shamir forever. Okay, and like I said, the rest of these I'm not even looking at, because I did them in the other run. And I basically maxed everyone out, except for maybe Dorothea, but even then, no. Not spending our time going over stuff we've already seen. I refuse. Instead, I'll go ahead and check in on all of our students. And Catherine, I guess.
If I could go back to last month and throttle my carefree self. Now it turns out Edelgard is the Flame Emperor and the new Adrestian Emperor. And she's striking out against the monastery, with the full force of the Imperial Army behind her. We gotta beat her at her own game. For our sake, as well as Lady Rhea's.
Alright, we got a Lance tournament. Ferdinand looks like a... level 22? Is that really where we are? Wow. I did not realize we were that low. I mean, it makes sense considering where we are in the game. Definitely let Leonie do it. Even though she's slightly lower, she also is actually the one I'm using in this playthrough. So it just feels good. It feels right. And already it looks like she is not going to do well, because he's going to do a lot of damage. A lot of damage. He will almost win. I mean, she does have almost a quarter chance of not getting hit, which is something. Although it's not working out so far. Nope. Hit every single time, which does not feel appropriate.
I call that a win.
Please dodge, Leone. Please dodge. She's only got a 74% chance to hit. You should be dodging at least one of these. There you go. Good job. Proud of you. Do it again. Dodge at least one. I dodged at least one. Do it again. She did it again. And then she randomly lost. Cool. That makes sense.
That girl's starting an all-out war, isn't she?
Sure is.
But an enemy is an enemy, no matter who they are. Don't let compassion for her get in your way.
I mean, wasn't planning to.
I don't normally have a problem jumping into a fight, but it feels strange going up against my father. We aren't especially close, but he's not an opponent I'd want to face. I'd almost rather fight a monster. I hope he's not part of the group coming to attack Garrick Mach.
Alright. Heading here. But basically trying to knock these out as quick as I can. I'm done with the social links, and I kind of want to get this done in one day. I am, as you can tell, not rushing for the end of the game, but not trying to dilly-dally anymore either.
Professor, what actually happened last month? I can't keep up at all. Edelgard is the Emperor, and she's declared war against the Church? So now we're at war? What is going on? I really don't understand any of this. What should I do?
Edelgard became emperor and raised an army, huh? Who knew the kid had it in her? I mean, yeah, of course, I knew she'd be emperor eventually, but the more I think about it, the more surprised I am. I wonder who's gonna win.
We are.
You're really worried about Edelgard, aren't you, Professor?
I don't look forward to what I'm going to have to do.
Things must be pretty crazy in Fargus about now. My father must be beside himself. I don't get it. Why did Edelgard make enemies with the nobles? Ideals she believed in so much, she was willing to start a war over them? Those must be some lofty ideals, to say the least.
I forget where this quote comes from, but it's, if you only stand by your values when you don't have to fight for them, they're not values, they're hobbies.
That's so. Once the Imperial Army reaches the monastery, we'll have no choice but to fight.
What's going to happen to us?
War.
I believe you. With the Knights on our side, and especially with you, Professor, I know we can do this.
Like, we will... Okay, we'll actually lose this battle, but it'll be okay.
Empire's aggression cannot stand. But if we are going to attack them now, we must be honest with ourselves about our chances of success. It goes without saying that I will fight the Imperial Army with everything I have for as long as I am able. But House Gloucester's territory is adjacent to Imperial lands. Let us proceed with caution.
Alright. Hilda?
You'll battle Edelgard, right? Good luck. Me? Oh, I'm going to run away. I have zero interest in dying here, thank you very much.
I mean, fair.
His Highness calls for the head of Edelgard. For me, that is cause enough to fight. His Highness would not say, but I can think of only one explanation.
Okay, I'm interested to see what you think.
She must have been involved in the
Yeah, okay, yep, you're very... Which is unfortunate, because she totally wasn't. But, for whatever reason, Dimitri was absolutely unwilling to hear that. And granted, I don't blame him, because her allies were. And so it's very hard to believe that she had nothing to do with it.
The Alliance's territory will be in danger if we don't get rid of these Empire guys. If the Alliance is in danger, that means my sister's in danger too. There's no way I'm gonna allow that. It doesn't matter how many guys they throw at us. I'll beat them all. These muscles aren't just for show. But first, I gotta get some food.
Oh, never change, Raphael.
The most important nobles in the Empire are known for taking power from the previous emperor, my father included. I didn't think it possible that the Imperial Princess could ascend the throne so easily. However, it seems that both my father and Caspar's are supporting Edelgard.
I do really wish we had a better idea of what strings she pulled to get all of the nobles behind her on her quest to take their power away. Like, what did she do?
Having both the Minister of Domestic Affairs and Minister of Military Affairs on your side gives you total control over the Empire's military and finances. You must have been making preparations for quite some time without anyone noticing.
So that's the same information we got before.
Maybe.
Fishy. Oh, you're not a person. You're a fake person.
To think that the Flame Emperor was Edelgard all along. Flame's abduction? Geralt's murder? The turmoil in Remire Village? Whether or not she was the mastermind behind what happened, it at least seems like she was involved.
It certainly does, which is why this is the more understandable path, even though I'm really glad for the insights we got from the other path.
And yet she was able to remain so composed while she was enrolled at the Officers' Academy.
All right, and Bernie?
What does war with Edelgard mean for us, Professor? And why does she even want that?
She even think force the only way.
I wonder why she'd think that.
That's the big question I have as well.
It always goes, I guess. You never realize something can't be undone until you've done it.
And granted, she's obviously knows more about this than I do, being that she actually lives in this world. But she is very committed to this idea of the church cannot be reasoned with, and you have to destroy it in order to reunite Fodlan. I'm like, and I don't see any real evidence of that other than Edelgard saying it. And you could be like, well, again, Edelgard's the, like, expert, so if she says it...
War is profitable, but dangerous. I really don't like seeing people I care about out there mixed up in all this.
Okay, I was totally not even listening to her because I was watching the cat in the background. Just being honest. Nuts.
You know, Professor, I'm glad that I came to the Officers' Academy. I feel accepted here. I've learned so much. Honestly, I'm surprised at how much I've grown. So, I will not let the Academy be destroyed. It's important to me, and I will protect it.
Good for you.
I feel braver just hearing you say that, Professor. We're gonna win this, Professor.
Again, not next battle, but overall, you are correct.
Pardon me. Greetings, Professor. Something to report. Unexpected, isn't it?
I don't think I ever talked to him before. I never heard him say something to report.
Apparently, this is the first time Garreg Mach has been invaded in its whole 995 years.
Wrong tense. Being invaded.
It's my job to protect this gate. So even if enemies come in droves, I will never let them through. I hope we both survive. Let's battle with all our might and pray we win this thing.
I probably shouldn't be talking like I know what's going to happen. It could be possible that this route is different. We actually, like, hold Garreg Mach. I just doubt it because they... I mean, I could pass out and we still end up holding the place. I mean, that's possible. Let me not be a smart. But
half of the Empire's 6 great noble families have declared their support for Edelgard. Of the other 3, Lord Vestra was assassinated. Hubert, his son,
we know where that's
will
going.
succeed him. Bernadetta's father, Count Varley, is under house arrest. His wife is now supporting Edelgard. And my father, he was stripped of his role as Prime Minister. As a result, House Eyre has lost all of its power, all of its lands. We have lost everything. What do I do?
you really wish you were actually better than Edelgard. I am so comforting. Oh, Gilby, I wondered who was in here.
There are always small power struggles. Still, it has been hundreds of years since all of Fodlan was consumed by war. I didn't actually think it would come to this. I feel as though I'm not in my rightful place. I cannot protect the things I should. Professor. If I survive this war, I wish to return to my homeland.
I mean, I'm not stopping you.
Of my king.
Hey, we're falling behind. I don't know that we can keep up with the new Emperor.
I mean, we're gonna have to.
To think that she was able to raise an army of that size right under our noses. However hard we fight, I give us a 50% chance of winning. The enemy has too many advantages. We must make careful preparations.
Okay, so someone up here, and then just trying to figure out where. So I will say, because this episode, well, I don't know. I don't want to promise things and then not do them. It is possible, depending on how long these episodes keep being, that we'll only. I mean, like the episodes may be slightly longer to make sure we get through everything. But at the same time, I may only upload on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because they are so long. And even more so because I'm having to do quite a bit of work in the background between them. Like, I'm having to jump entire months. And I'm going to be doing, like, it's just going to be a lot more. I'm going to be playing the game as much as I was before, but showing a lot less. So that's also the reason.
It's my job to protect Lady Rhea. I've got to do it, and I got to do it as best I can. How can
I didn't mean to
treat
interrupt
Lady
you.
Rhea like she's the bad guy? She's never been anything but nice to everybody.
Oh, sweet summer child.
I just don't get it at all.
I mean, she literally put in another timeline, she puts an entire city to this torch because lol.
Those who serve the church must cast aside all selfish desires and devote themselves fully to their beliefs. But is it right to wield piety as a weapon? I have never considered such things before. The church, I have always done what I thought best to save the people of Fodlan.
Hello, Claude.
The Empire is moving quickly. Edelgard must have been preparing for this for a while now.
I'm glad to see you back. You look better when you're not murdered.
If you really think about it,
murder's probably the wrong
she
word.
must have been planning for this even before you got the sword of the Creator.
Well, yeah, she was actually going down there. I don't know if she was going down there to find him. She was definitely going down there to get crests.
Of course she was always a step ahead of us. We were blinded by the ball and the battle of the eagle and lion and everything else.
Okay.
Oh, Leona, I didn't see you over there.
What is Edelgard even trying to achieve? She wants to destroy the church so badly that she'll take on anyone who doesn't fall in line? I don't get it. I just can't believe she'd start a war over it. Not to mention using such nasty tactics to get her way. Could Captain Gerald's death have also been a part of her
That
plan?
I don't believe so.
Don't you go and die on me, Professor. Captain Gerald would never forgive you.
Okay, I just have to let you know, you're the one obsessed with Gerald, not me. Like, I respect him, and I like him, and he's a great figure, and he's helped me a lot, but holding his approval over my head is not going to be successful.
How dare they threaten the goddess? Such a vile act cannot be forgiven. There is no need to worry, I promise you that. Divine punishment will surely fall upon them. In the days of yore, the goddess would grow angry with such insolent fools and roast them in ALL.
Okay, so... yeah, quick and easy never works. Oh. For some reason I thought that was Caspar. Although, yeah, she'll also like that answer. Oh, she would have hated poison.
I guess we have no choice but to fight, have we? I'm sure we'll be alright though, Professor.
I'm sorry.
The goddess will keep us safe. Professor.
Goddess.
Can we really defeat someone who is willing to turn their back on the world just to uphold their own beliefs? I've spent my whole life running in fear, and now Surely we can win if we rely on each other. Right, Professor?
Professor, war is breaking out again, is it not?
It certainly is.
There was a truly terrible war once upon a time.
How old are you? I know you keep not answering that. I didn't think use of Crest slowed your aging that much, though.
I never wanted another
I thought her dodging of that question was because she didn't want people to understand that the age difference between her and Seth.
All we can do is steel ourselves for the fight ahead.
Oh, here you are, Dimitri. I kind of wonder where you were.
I'll have that girl's head. Just you wait.
Okay, so I want... Where are you, Plane? I want Plane. Happy, really? That surprises me. Where's Constance? Like, both of them use black magic, so I guess it doesn't really make a difference.
It is so much fun to sing with others.
Singing is nice, isn't it? The only thing is, I'd prefer to do it without...
I actually should have checked to see who I could, like, get a link with Plane with.
Hey!
Alright, so that's that. So now, oh, we have a quest up there as well. Not noticed that before, obviously, or I wouldn't have said, hey, there's a quest there.
So Edelgard, the one who calls herself the Flame Emperor, was connected to those strange beings. The Imperial Army might be using even more terrifying methods than we know. You had better be cautious, Professor. Any amount of carelessness might prove to be our undoing.
Alright, almost done.
The Holy Tomb held many crest stones.
Which they definitely use in the final battle. Actually, we used them. Or Dimitri did. Or I don't even know.
This is the first time I've heard of crest stones being hidden away in such a place. But more importantly, I'm interested to know the Empire's aim. Why would their army desire crest stones? There is power there, yes. And yet... I must think on this. The crest stones lie at the heart of the events surrounding Conan Tower and the chapel as well.
I do like how much he's figuring stuff out.
And of course, the crest stones somehow transform those traitors and their captives into demonic beasts. Could that possibly be their
I mean, that's the only thing we've seen them used for, so, yeah.
The Empire's army may well plan to use crest stones to create demonic beasts.
This is interesting. I was just looking. He's got the same sigil here multiple times. Like, they couldn't even make them all different. Because, like, right next to my head and at the very end of the bottom row and the third one in on the top row are all the exact same sigil with the same stuff written. I'm also trying to figure out what this is. It looks like to Joa. Who is Joa? I don't know any Joas.
We must protect Garreg Mach. Defiling the Holy Tomb was a sacrilege. I will not allow such a thing to happen again. The Archbishop has already given you a new responsibility. I want you to rise to that honor. I have something to ask of you.
All right.
To think Edelgard was somehow connected to the captain's murderer. Well, perhaps it's pointless to get upset about the past. My duty now is to prepare for battle. We're depending on your strength, Professor. Crush our enemies. Captain, I hope you're watching. We will protect Garreg Mach. Oh, Professor, I will do whatever I can to serve you. Excellent, no matter how small the task.
I'm realizing I didn't actually recruit most of these guys. I should probably do that.
We must defy the Archbishop.
Okay, I can't recruit him. He's probably automatic. I'll check Catherine as well. It would be really bad if I have to recruit Catherine and then she's not, like, available. Like she disappears.
Excuse me. How are you, Professor? Any new changes to report? With the Imperial Army drawing near, it is most vexing that we cannot relax and converse as we once did. Thankfully, you have the divine protection of the goddess on your side. Please try to listen carefully for her voice. May the goddess's voice reach you.
Yeah, that wasn't a weighted statement at all. Shamir's obviously already in my group. Let's go over and find Catherine right quick. And I guess we'll also check... I want to get all the church people. Oh, have I missed you?
Okay, I thought we'd all be really busy with assignments and getting ready for graduation. But now...
Yeah, not so much.
Now that things have turned out like this, I guess there's nothing to do but fight.
Now again, we gotta...
Okay, I also cannot recruit her, which means she's automatic. So Cyril's up there, but he's also blue. That's Claude, I can't recruit him. That's Hilda and Dedu. That's Dimitri. Okay, so everyone that is marked in red is now someone that I can't recruit. I will still check him, though, just to be safe. Never hurts anything. I will also go ahead and end the episode, though. I will see you all in the next one. Thank you very much for tuning in. Next time, we will be at the battle at the end of the month. Nope, can't recruit him. Okay, cool. See you then.